Meeting on February 26th. It's now 6 p.m. Please join Councilmember Laura Townham in the pledge and stay standing for the invocation.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dear Lord, we ask you to protect our youngest citizens. We ask you for wisdom to have our lawmakers make the right decisions. We ask for protection for those that serve. We ask this council to be given wisdom to make the best decisions, to have a safe city. And we ask that you ease the pain and suffering for those families.
Thank you, Councilman Laura Townham. All right, and roll call tonight, we have to excuse Councilmember Stiff, who is not here, so could I hear a motion, please?
So moved.
I heard a motion from Vice Mayor Campbell and a second from Councilman Osborne. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. We don't have any communication items tonight, but now is the time for citizens who would like to address the City Council on any non-agenda item within the jurisdiction of the Goodyear City Council. Do we have any speaker card? Anybody in the audience want to speak? All right, then we're going to go on to the consent agenda. Will the city clerks please read the consent agenda items 6.1 through 6.3 by title only?
6.1, approved draft minutes from a regular meeting held on February 12th, 2018. 6.2, recommend to the Phoenix City Council approval of the Phoenix Goodyear Airport Master Plan update presented at the February 12th, 2018 meeting. 6.3, approve the final plat for Estrella Parcel 11.B, subject to stipulations.
Thank you. Does anyone from the public wish to remove an item from the consent agenda? Does anyone on the council wish to remove an item? Then may I have a motion?
So moved.
Okay, I heard Vice Mayor make a motion. Who's going to second it for me?
I will. Second.
Councilman Osborne, second. Roll call vote, please.
Vice Mayor Campbell?
Aye.
Councilmember Osborne?
Aye.
Councilmember Pizzillo?
Aye.
Councilmember Loretano?
Aye.
Councilmember Hampton?
Aye.
Mayor Lord?
Aye.
Motion carries 6-0.
We're on to business. I'd like to remind council to refrain from asking questions until the staff presentations are complete. There's a motion on the table. So 7.1, the first item is on business is a public hearing to consider rezoning from the general commercial C2 to the planned area development PAD. I'm opening the public hearing. Steve Karashi, Planner 3, will present. Steve?
Good evening, Mayor, council members. We do have a rezoning.
Steve, would you just pull that microphone up just a little bit closer to you, please?
Mayor, is that better?
Is that better? Yes, okay.
This is the subject property here, a little over 9 acres. Surrounding this property, this is the RID Canal here. This is Van Buren Street here. Existing Cotton Lane RV Park to the east. To the south, we have a proposed PAD Rose Garden residential. Commercial piece here, and then this is that Barrow Pit to the north. PAD, the Cotton Lane RV Resort PAD, that was zoned in 1996. Had an entitlement for 1,500 mobile home and RV spaces. And that PAD did include this subject property right here. In 2009, the owners at the time rezoned this little over 9 acres to commercial. They thought that was the best use at the time for the property. And they combined it with this development here for a site plan, Shops at Citrus Center. That was a commercial center that was planned right here at the corner. Since then, the property has not developed commercially. The property has changed hands. The new owners feel that this piece right here, adjacent to the existing RV park, would best be served as going back to the residential. So the request tonight is basically to revert it back to its former use, same development standards for the RV and mobile home spaces, same layout, so basically just reabsorbed back into the PAD. And that plan today includes it's roughly about 95 spaces that will be within this 9 acres. We had a neighborhood meeting that was held back in June of last year. We noticed the surrounding property owners. No one from the surrounding neighborhood did attend. Staff did not receive any inquiries on this project. Because it is a public hearing, we did notice the standard notice posted to property, mailers to the surrounding property owners, and our legal ad. To date, staff has not received any negative inquiries on this project from the surrounding property owners. Planning and Zoning Commission considered this item at their February 14th meeting. There was no opposition from the public voiced at that hearing. With that, Mayor, staff, and the Planning and Zoning Commission, we are recommending approval of this rezoning request, subject to the 5 stipulations that are in the attached ordinance. With that, Mayor, staff, and the applicant are available for questions.
Thank you. Would anybody in the audience like to speak on this before I close the public hearing? No? All right, then I'm going to close the public hearing. Will the city clerk please read ordinance number 2018-1381 by title only, please?
Adopt ordinance number 2018-1381, conditionally rezoning approximately 9.3 acres from general commercial C2 to planned area development PAD with a land use designation of manufactured home, recreational vehicle park, MH-/RVP, amending the zoning map of the city of Goodyear, providing for non-abridgment, providing for corrections, providing for severability, providing for an effective date, and providing for penalties.
Thank you. Could I have a motion and a second?
So moved.
All right, heard a motion by Councilman Bazil and a second by Osborne. Councilwoman Osborne. Open for council discussion. Councilman Bazil.
Just a general question. Any indications when dirt might start to move on that particular property?
Mayor and council, applicant said as soon as possible.
Okay.
Did what?
Thank you.
Yes, Councilman Osborne?
Okay, so the commercial, you have the drawings here of what's platted or planned for the commercial area. Is that still viable? I mean, that's not changing, correct? That's still, that's what I see correct right here. So for commercial, this is still here, but now we're changing for tonight is the asking of the, was it 9 acres for the RV areas and manufactured homes. So my question is, what's the besides a parking area, what's going to be the distance? Is there landscaping? What's going to be between this commercial area as a buffer and these manufactured home areas?
Mayor, council members, this is roughly here. This is the piece that's going to revert back to residential.
Okay.
And it was a part of that 2009 site plan.
Okay.
Given the time that has passed, this site plan has expired. So there's no site plan for this property. When this commercial parcel does come in, they will have to go through the site planning process again. And we will look at all the things that we normally look at: access points, buffers, landscaping.
Okay, that helps a lot. Thank you.
Councilman Hampton?
Yeah, when I drive by this pretty much every day, it looks like it's already has, I mean, they already have power and different sections already set up, ready to go, pretty close to the wall, little tiny wall there, and it looks like the area is pretty much already ready to go. So is it still going to be, this part will still be the age-restricted 55 and over area, correct? Just an expansion of the same thing.
Yes, sir.
Because I know they put a brand new wall there, and the new owners, they made it look a little nicer too, and put a little more investment into it. So yeah, I think it's good. I mean, I'd love to see more commercial next door to it, but hopefully that'll come eventually. That's all I had. Thank you.
Any other questions? Yes, Councilman Vice Mayor?
So Steve, does the owner that owns the property we're talking about own the commercial as well?
No,
Is
ma'am.
it a different owner?
Yes, 2 different owners.
So was the subject property ever, you said it was part of the site plan, so whoever owns the commercial part has decided to sell off part of that property, right?
Yes.
And the folks that bought it want to make it into an RV park,
Yes.
right? is it going to be in competition with Cotton Lane, or do they own the Cotton Lane RV park?
They own the entire park.
Okay. Are they planning to expand the back part of their park that is currently there now into this subject property?
Yes, if I understand, this is the property right here back from the 1996 plan. The owners would just like to go back to this plan that was originally approved. So and it does just take this existing development and just take it west as originally shown here on this plan.
So I am familiar with the RV park. It's part of my family. When they come, they stay there. So I just want to get it in my head. They're going to actually expand what they have now to this 9.3 acres.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, are they going to, will we see this again at any time, or is once we approve this?
The next step will be after zoning, site planning, construction plans. So the council normally does not see
Okay.
applications.
All right, so if we wish to have any additional, I don't want to say hiding because I don't want to use that word, landscaping or whatever, we need to get that information to you so that you can talk to planning and zoning, since we're not going to see it anymore. I just want to make sure that if they are going to extend it, that it pretty much stays like what it looks like now, without detracting from the current property or the RV park. So,
Council members, the plan would be to continue that same theme and everything.
same theme
Yes.
and same roads and
Yes.
same everything. Okay. That's all I have. Thank you.
Any other questions? All right, roll call vote, please.
Vice Mayor Campbell?
Aye.
Councilmember Pizzillo?
Aye.
Councilmember Loretano?
Aye.
Councilmember Hampton?
Aye.
Councilmember Osborne?
Aye.
Mayor Lord?
Aye.
Motion carries 6-0.
Thank you very much. Congratulations. I guess we'll have a new one, huh? All right, 7.2 on business is consider approving the preliminary plat for the city center air park. Steve, you're still on for this.
Yes. Mayor, councils, with this action, we're looking at a preliminary plat. This area here outlined in red, it's the City Center Air Park PAD. It's roughly a little over 350 acres. We have the airport here to the east, ballpark and training facilities to the west, the Estrella Parkway and Yuma Road here. And running north-south through the property, we have the Bullard Wash. This PAD was approved in 2006, and it's generally an industrial and commercial development.
It's better.
I put this exhibit up because it does show kind of the zoning on top of the plat. And what we have here are basically the developer looking at a large piece of property, subdividing it into more manageable pieces. And we do have the layout here of the lots. And we have then the zoning on top, just so we can see how the zoning and this plat are proposed. But again, the applicant has indicated that this plat is just one step in a longer process. They don't have a development plan, specific development plan at this time. This is just to help them for their future planning efforts to get a large piece down into more manageable chunks for them to plan for infrastructure. We do find this 5-parcel plat is consistent with our subdivision regulations. And the Planning Commission did consider this at their meeting of February 14th. The Planning and Zoning Commission and staff, we are recommending approval of this preliminary plat subject to the 3 stipulations in the staff report. With that, Mayor, that concludes my presentation. Staff and the applicant are available for questions.
Great. Thank you very much. Are there any speaker cards?
Just from the applicant, Mayor.
All right, would you like the applicant to speak now?
He said that he would be available for
Wait until, all right,
questions.
fine. Is there anybody in the audience that wants to speak? No speaker cards, but anybody in the audience wants to speak? All right, let's go on. Could I have a motion and a second to approve the preliminary plat for the City Center Air Park, subdividing 351.1 acres into 5 parcels, generally located along Bullard Avenue, south of Yuma Road, and within the City Center Air Park Plan Area Development, PAD, subject to stipulations. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Second.
I heard a motion by Councilman Hampton, a second by Councilman Osborne. All right, open for council discussion. Yes, Councilman Hampton.
I just had a point of clarification. The community commercial, what examples of businesses could go there in that area, that zone? For example, could a hotel go there or something like that, or condos or something?
Mayor, council, the C2, the general commercial is our most intensive commercial. Yes, you could have hotel, you can see grocery stores, a wide array of retail and service type uses. So the C2 would be appropriate zone for those kind of uses.
Thank you.
Yes, Councilman Pizzella?
Can you point up Bullard Road on that for me?
Yeah.
Put the other one up, it's so much easier. Yeah, that's easier.
Okay.
Where's Bull? Oh, here's Bull. Okay.
The question I have is, a while back, and we had talked about that Bullard Avenue part as far as development to something more than just warehousing or whatever around there. It's been a while. Does this change any of that, or is it still a possibility we're going to get a lot of warehousing up off this Bullard Avenue here where Yuma and the Phoenix Airport is?
Mayor, council, with tonight's action, we're just parceling the property. There's been no adjustment to any of it. It's no zoning action tonight.
Okay. All right, thank you.
I remember if
You remember that discussion?
I remember, yes,
Yeah.
there could be some warehousing there. It could be, this is very similar to what they had sort of planned before, although there were a lot of, originally, the city center, as I remember, they had office buildings there and so forth.
Right.
So I guess we don't know what's going to be built there now, but I'm kind of pleased to see there's some action as we've come back in again. Haven't seen you in a long time. Welcome. And so it's good to see at least.
Yeah, my only question, Mayor, is remember we had talked a while about for economic development is maybe making some improvements on those roads, but as part of the deal to make those improvements, there's certain things we wanted along Bullard Road a little more than just, and again, maybe that's a discussion for another day, but I do recall there were certain things that we were looking on that Bullard Road that was different than, and maybe when the zoning comes back, we'll look at that, but something other than just warehousing along that, we were looking for
I
something
think
a little
that's what
different.
you were looking. I think
Yeah.
the discussion was on the council at that time that they'd like to put some of the warehousing closer to the runway
Yeah.
in that area and save the roadside for something that
Little,
might be
yeah.
more retail or business type. Of course, again, that's up to the developer, and he'll bring it before us, but this developer knows Goodyear and been with us a long time. I'm sure they're going to come up with some really outstanding plans for us. Any other discussion? Okay, let's vote on it. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Congratulations. Nice to see you back again. All right, 7.3 is to consider approving the FY budget transfers. Lori Riggenroth, Budget and Research Manager, will be presenting. Laura?
Mayor, Council, we just have 3 budget transfers this month. Just wanted to give you a quick update on what they are. They're a little bit different. One is just, if you'll recall, in the budget we adopted, we included a $200,000 contingency should the MOU, there was something in the police and fire MOUs that allowed that if general fund revenues grew by more than 5% over 2 years, that there'd be a 1% wage increase. So the first budget transfer of $153,200 just moves the money out of that contingency into the police and fire departments. And the balance, the difference between that and the $200,000 will end up as savings. There was a decision made to move the GIS function out of the engineering department into the information technology department. that technically crosses lines of appropriation in our legal budget adoptions, so we have to approve a budget transfer to make that transfer. That would be effective on March 1st. And then the last item is that we've had a HVAC unit that is failing at the ballpark facility, and the two teams have agreed to use the capital replacement fund to do that, and we'd have to use existing fund balance, and there's plenty of fund balance in that fund to move forward with that item.
Good.
So request your approval of those.
All right, thank you. Are there any speaker cards?
No, Mayor.
Would anybody in the audience like to speak? All right, could I have a motion, a second, to approve the budget transfers for FY18?
So moved.
Second.
I heard from Vice Mayor Campo, a motion, a second from Councilman Hampton. Open for council discussion.
I have a quick question.
Yes, Councilman, Vice Mayor.
Is the GIS function to map people
Yes.
Yeah.
They do the,
going to IT?
yes, because GIS, in my prior experience, GIS ends up being much more than just the maps, and it can have layers that involve all kinds of operations of the city.
Are they physically moving over into our
They
building?
are they physically moving? Nope. Nope, they're not physically moving, they're
Okay,
just
just
being
the money.
managed there.
Just the pay, okay, that's fine, thank you.
Any other questions? All right, let's vote for this. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you very much. All right, we're at the end. So, and we're going to finish up just your accommodations and things you want to talk about, and then we're going to go back to the work session, okay? So any comments or reports or current events anyone wants to talk? Councilman Pizzillo.
Yeah, the opening day.
Yeah.
I assume we'll probably get a report from the manager a little bit later how many people was there. A little chilly, but it was definitely fun. So I enjoyed opening day. And whoops.
Ooh,
Okay.
Chris. And he's out. And he's out.
Just got to watch out for that first step.
How fast?
Also, a point of pride for this Sunday at the ballpark. Somebody named Sophia Pizzillo will be singing the national anthem. So, and again, that's a point of pride of me. So we'll be celebrating at the ballpark Sunday for that.
Very good. We're looking forward to that. Any other comments? Yes. Councilman Osborne?
I had a busier week last week. Yes, baseball was certainly the highlight of the week, not only with the Cactus League annual luncheon and the Hall of Famers that were inducted, but opening day, good job, ballpark and Parks and Rec. You guys always do a great job out there. But I also attended the governor's annual International State of the State, and that was very interesting. And I left with each of you AMWA's achievements for 2017. We also had our AMWA meeting last week, and just so you know that currently AMWA has been opposed to many of, if not all, actually all of the water legislation that's going on right now. And lastly, Friday night, I attended the shindig the Mavericks put on that they rent out the airplane hangar of Luxair and do a huge fundraiser for a bunch of different nonprofits, and that's always a fun time.
Yeah, good group. Anybody else? Yes.
Yeah. So I think since last time we met, I'm a member of CDAC, and we distributed our funding, roughly about $2 million. So it was, it was really, really good, really rewarding to see that happen. One of them went back to the Homeless Youth Connection, going to be building a house around the Goodyear area. That's pretty neat. So, and then also I went to STEMCon with the Agua Fria School District. It was at Agua Fria, so we had Desert Edge and Millennium students there competing against each other for science and technology. Good. So it was a pretty neat event. They had a lot of people there, and Dr. Runyon says hi. And so it was that was really good. And then also the open day of the ballpark was really fun as well. Got to see our new city manager kill it, throw that pitch. So that was good. And then so yeah, no, it was a great event. A lot of people were out, and a great way to kick off the season. So yeah, thank you.
Sherry? Yes? Okay, all right. Any other? All right, so let's go on to now. So you have, does the city manager have anything to say? Any
Thank you,
follow-up
Mayor.
items tonight, anything like that, I'm going to give it all at once.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. I would like to provide a brief update on our spring training opening day weekend. It was very successful. We had nearly 11,000 in attendance over the weekend. And of course, as we mentioned, opening day was on Friday, and the pregame ceremonies included comments by the mayor and introductions of the mayor and council. And I was very honored to throw out the ceremonial first pitch. On Saturday, there was a bobblehead giveaway, and on Sunday was the first of 5 Kids Day Sundays, which was, I think, enjoyed by all. So yes, total game weekend was nearly 11,000 in spite of, I think, the cold weather and the early start this year. I'd also like to highlight a special event happening this Thursday, and it's an open house for our recreation campus concept. It's going to be held on Thursday, March 1st from 5 to 7 p.m. at the Goodyear Library Community Room. And residents and stakeholders will be able to view and provide reaction to the final 3 concepts created from public input for this recreation campus. It's open house style meeting, so residents can provide input and learn more about the layout and design of the facility. The final 3 concepts were shaped by ideas and suggestions received from Goodyear residents and community stakeholders through 2 previous public meetings, HOA presentations, an online survey, continuous email submissions, and community dialogue. So using all of the input that we'll receive on Thursday, city staff will recommend a plan to City Council at your May 21st meeting that will ultimately transform these 86 acres of dirt located at the corner of Goodyear Boulevard North and Estrella Parkway into a 30-acre park, 30,000 square foot recreation center, and an outdoor aquatic facility.
Thank you.
Those
Thank
are my
you.
comments.
All right, is there any staff summary follow-up action all tonight? I don't think there was, as I remember. Yes, but first I'm going to go to council inquiries. Yeah, I'm ready for that. I want to get the one out first. Got to give me a little minute here. It takes me a minute to
I
kinda
never
get-
know where it
Everybody
goes.
gets anxious, I know. Come on. All right,
You've
you've got that
a
one.
script.
Go.
I need to
Yeah.
figure that out. With everything that's going on with the school safety issue, and there's obviously, we've seen our emails, this continues to be an issue. I had several parents ask me, well, what does Goodyear do? And I know our chief has a phenomenal program that he started. And I think we need to, it's going to be on the news tonight at 5 on Channel 10. I got it. About what they're doing at Mabel Pageant. And I think we need to get that, 3 schools, yeah, but I think it was Mabel Pageant was the one they
Chief,
were going to highlight.
do you mind coming
Yeah.
up? Can I ask the chief? I know it's not on the agenda. Can I do that? Come on, give me a yes, no. It's staff and it's
Very briefly.
inquiry. Pardon me?
He's correcting me. How's that?
It's inquiries to the staff.
Inquiry.
Thank you.
Can't really discuss it, but
Yes, we're not going to discuss it. He's just going to talk. Don't discuss it.
But I have question after.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Yes, we have a phenomenal program. We have our school substation program, and that is, we are at Mabel Pageant, Centera Mirage, and West Star Elementaries. We have offices at each of those schools. During the day, our officers come by, visit, interact with the kids, and they are on campus as a safety factor.
And so I'm not discussing, I'm saying my inquiry is, I would like to get more information out of that. And I don't know if it's a work session or just to see if we're doing enough, if we need to do more, if this is something we should continue to look at in light of everything that's happening, to kind of keep those lines of communication open, if maybe it's to get an update and see if we're doing enough.
I'd be happy to, as a mayor, to say for our next future agenda item. We can do that.
Yeah, and can we put it in focus? Thank you.
And in focus. All right, so let's just, a work session, maybe something on that, okay?
We will do. Thank you.
Yeah. So, all right, everybody happy about that? Okay, I think we're just about done. Let me see. So I'm going to adjourn this meeting, and we're going to call the work session back, okay? Thank you, everybody, for the contribution. This is adjourned. So now I'd like to start back to the work session. And we have one more, if I could just find the paper.